Hey everybody, welcome back to Living Between Paychecks Kitchen. It's me, Jack, and today we're going to be making some buffalo chicken quesadillas. This is not something I normally make. I don't really make quesadillas, and I also don't happen to make them with chicken. I prefer doing it with beef when I do. And I also don't normally make them with buffalo chicken, so let's go ahead and give it a shot and see how it comes out. Alright, we have quite a few things here. Let's go ahead and start with the chicken. We have 3 chicken breasts. I already cut off the sinewy tissues that we don't like. I have a bunch of cheese, about 3 cups here. I'm not going to use all of it probably. We have tortillas, I'm only going to need a couple. And we have our seasonings, which are over here already mixed. And then we have our wing sauce, and then we have our ranch. Once again, I'm using red hot buffalo because I had some left over. And then we have 3 cloves of garlic, these are optional, and some cilantro, which are also optional. Okay, so if you've been around for my last couple videos, you know how I like to season my chicken. I like to get my seasonings mixed on a plate, and then just get the chicken and place it in the seasoning. Press it down and roll it around a couple times to get all the sides evenly coated. And pardon any deep freezer noises you hear in the background. It's kind of going right now and it's really loud, and I don't feel like turning it off. So yeah, just keep going until your chicken is completely coated on all sides, or until about as much as you're willing to deal with. And once you're done, just place it to the side in another container for storage for now. Here's our chicken, fully seasoned at all sides. And the method I'm going to use to cook it is I'm going to be sautéing it in the skillet with some olive oil. Now the best way to actually make shredded chicken, which is what this is going to turn into, is I think to boil it. But I don't really like to boil chicken. I think it's a good way to pretty much ruin chicken's flavor, and I don't know, I'm not a big fan of boiled chicken. So let's go ahead and get into the sautéing. So I added some oil to the skillet and let it get warm. Now let's see if it's ready. Alright, the way to know if it's ready is if it starts to sizzle at you. So carefully add your chicken. And don't worry about your seasoning coming off, that's okay. There's plenty of it. Now we're going to go ahead and let our chicken cook for about 15 minutes. And we're going to, about every 2.5 to 3 minutes, we're going to come and we're going to flip it over, okay? So you don't want it to sit on one side for too long to cook. Here we are, 6 minutes into cooking, and this is what it looks like, just so you know. It's starting to get nice and blackened, but by no means is it anywhere near done on the inside. And yeah, just go ahead and keep turning it around every couple minutes, okay? The bottom of this one looks like it's nice and blackened, but don't worry about that, okay? Okay, so our chicken's been cooking for actually about 20 minutes now. I checked it at 15. It was not ready. So now we're going to go ahead and add our garlic. Keep in mind this step is optional. You do not have to add garlic if you don't want to. And just mix it around and let it saute for about 2 minutes. Okay, it's been about 22 minutes, so I went ahead and pulled the chicken. Now we need to let it cool off for about 10 minutes before we shred it. So after about 10 minutes, you want to cut your chicken up into these round-like bits, and then shred it down further just by cutting it a couple times. And once you cut it, you can then go against the grain and cut again. And there you go, shredded chicken. Now you can cheat if you have a blender. You can actually put the sliced chunks in a blender, and it'll also do pretty much the same thing. Now I got a bunch of chicken to shred here, so I'll be back in a couple of minutes. So here's our shredded chicken. I went with medium-sized chunks instead of really fine shredded chicken. You could do it however you want. Now the next thing we need to do is actually put this back in a skillet, so let's go ahead and do that. So we have our skillet. Let's go ahead and set it to medium or medium-low. We're not going to use any oil. We're just going to add the chicken straight to the skillet. This is 1 to finish cooking it, and 2 to make the sauce. The reason we're doing this is so we can finish cooking it if 1, it's not done, and 2, so we can make our buffalo chicken mix for our quesadillas. Now to get started on our buffalo chicken mix, go ahead and add half a cup of your favorite buffalo sauce, or just whatever you happen to have on hand, and 2 tablespoons of ranch dressing. Or yeah, like that. That was not planned at all. Well, I can't redo that one. Once everything is added, just go ahead and toss it around really well. You can do this in a bowl before putting it in the skillet, but I just decided to do it this way. But a bowl and mixing it that way would probably be easier. And we don't have to let it cook here for long, because if your chicken is done, you don't really need to cook it anymore. But if it's not done, just let it sit for a couple minutes. Now, if you like it extra saucy, you can add a little bit more sauce. You can add a little bit more ranch. I don't suggest adding cheese at this stage, because we're going to add cheese later. There's one last thing that I nearly forgot. We can add our cilantro. I only made a little bit, but you could use more if you want. And go ahead and stir it in. For about 2 to 3 minutes, go ahead and take your skillet off the heat and replace it with something to cook tortillas on. I'm going to use this thing, I forgot what it's called. And we're going to get started on the actual quesadillas itself. We're going to turn our heat on medium. And we're going to add a little bit of oil. And then we're going to rub it in. And we're going to let it get nice and warm. So let's get started on our quesadillas. First thing we need to do is get a tortilla down. Get some cheese on it. Get some chicken on it. And then we need to put another layer of cheese on top of this so it'll melt and glue the tortillas together. Because we're not doing the folded method, we're doing real quesadillas here, okay? Try and mash it down if you can. And then, where'd my cheese go? Get your cheese pack. And put some more cheese on it. You need this cheese to melt, otherwise you're gonna have a hard time flipping this. And then compress. Now we need to try and flip this. So we're going to use 2 spatulas here. We're going to get underneath. And we're going to use this method and hope to God everything does not immediately spill out, alright? And there we go, real quesadillas. Now just go until your cheese is fully melted and repeat this step as many times as necessary to not have any chicken left over, I guess. Our first quesadilla is, I believe, done. So we're going to go ahead and get it off the heat. And we're going to check the bottom and make sure it's not burnt. And it's not burnt. So just put it off to the side and get started on quesadilla number 2. So ignore the rain in the background if you can hear it. Now those 3 chicken breasts made about 5 quesadillas. So now we're gonna go ahead and cut it. Now if you have a pizza cutter, I have the long variety here, but the round one might also work the same. Just go ahead and cut it into quarters. And this is how you make real quesadillas, not the little folded over things you see on our channel sometimes and in other places. And just so you can see what I'm talking about, here you go. Nice and steamy. And that's all there is to it. And so yeah, there you have it, buffalo chicken quesadillas. They came out really good. Nice and spicy too, especially with that extra hot buffalo. I think that's what that was. Anyway, they're outstanding. It takes a little bit to make, especially with this method. Boiling them might actually be faster than sauteing them. Actually, there's probably other faster methods. I just took the long one that I'm familiar with. But yeah, thanks for watching. You can catch us here Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Fridays and Saturdays. And you can also catch us at Instagram at Living Between. And on Facebook at Living Between Paychecks Kitchen. We look forward to seeing you. Be sure to like, share, sub, do all that other nonsense. Shameless plug, whatever. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.